Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi. Hello, it's Christy Faith. How are you this evening? Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is Christy Faith here. Hi. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome to my live. I am here to talk about all things education and homeschooling. Hi, welcome. We are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, and we are on YouTube. Welcome. Come on in, everybody. Let's see. TikTok's giving me a notification. Hi, who's here? I think I know who that is. Hi, come on in. Lattes and Littles. Hi, welcome, everybody. Come on in. I'm Christy Faith. I'm here to answer any and all homeschooling questions. I have been in education for over 20 years. I am a homeschool author and speaker. How am I looking on the other platforms? I'm good? Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hello, Instagram. I'm Christy Faith. Grab a cup of whatever you want in it. I have what I want in mine, and I'm here to talk homeschooling, answer any of your questions. I'd love to know if you're here tonight. Please let me know where you're from, what state you're in. Hello. Oh, my friends are already here. Do you know I'm sure you guys know what's in this. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, I want to know what state you're in. I want to know a couple things. Hi. I want to know what state you're in. I want to know if you're currently homeschooling or if you are brand new. I also particularly want to know if you are considering homeschooling for the fall, because I'm sure you have a lot of questions and I want you to stick around. For those mamas who just joined, who have been homeschooling a while, please stick around, because as you guys know, these can get a little bit nuts with a lot of comments. And if you can help out, oh good, currently homeschooling. We have North Carolina. Where in North Carolina? I want to know. I lived there a while.
We have Southern California. We have Columbia, Barranquilla.
Columbia?
We have Oregon. We have Toronto, Canada, doing virtual school.
Oh, wonderful. We have Canada.
Seattle. All over the place.
All over the place, you guys. This is awesome. Welcome. Come on in. Ask me anything that you want. I just got on. I'm gonna be here the next hour to answer any and all of your questions. Yes, Arkansas, veteran homeschool mom, I know. And in my Thrive group. You are so sweet. I'm so glad you're there. All of my friends are starting to pop into. If you're wondering, hey, is that a fan blowing Christy's hair? And the answer would be yes. Hey, is anyone on perimenopause TikTok? No, I'm serious. Is anyone on that TikTok? Because I got to get on there somehow. Because when in my life have I needed like a fan? Anyway, you guys might not recognize me because I usually don't wear glasses, but my eyes needed a break. And I just got out of the shower and I didn't want to put my contacts in. So here you are with my glasses. Welcome, everybody. Yay, awesome. Okay, when you are in my Thrive group, tell me your first name, because here's the thing. I see your comments coming in and I can't connect your name with your handles on TikTok or Instagram or anything. So please let me know. Grab a cup. Let's sit, have some coffee together or something stronger, water, something else, and let's talk schooling, you guys. Do we have any questions yet?
How do we keep our child motivated with virtual school? My daughter just takes notes and does quizzes once in a while, but it's getting real boring.
Yeah. Who is this?
This is What You Looking For.
I love your username.
On Insta.
Okay, a question about virtual school that's getting really boring for your daughter. I would love for you to explore, if you're open to some different pedagogies. I agree. We used to implement virtual school at our center. I agree. It is a formula to make a kid hate learning. It is. That's what it is. It's taking notes, taking tests, checking off boxes. So, and not really instilling a love for learning, is it? And isn't that what we want? We want our kids to be curious human beings, to be adults who anything they want to learn, they're going to be able to when they're adults and know how to approach it. So what I want to ask you is, are you open to maybe exploring some of the other pedagogies I have a workshop that you can look at. It's exploring the 9 homeschooling styles. That might be something worth taking. It's just a small little course, but I go over not only all of the homeschooling styles, but the top parent reads for those styles and the top curriculum options for those styles. That was a workshop that I did in Thrive. Thrive members have access to that workshop, but you don't have to be in Thrive to get my workshops. You can also just buy them. Yes. Okay, question.
Beatrice, California, considering figuring out how to make it work with a 9-to-5 job.
Beatrice, yes, Beatrice, tell me what type of job you have. Is it flexible? I would love to know, and your age of kids. So when you are a working homeschool mom, there are a lot of moving parts and variables. Whether or not you can do it depends on what type of job you have. Is it from home? Is it flexible? If it's not, and you're working outside of the home, do you have support in your life of people that can help you homeschool your kids on the days where you have to be gone? Also, what I will say is it is a little bit harder when you have little bitty kids, just because there's really not that much independence left. It's a lot of caregiving, and that can be hard to homeschool when you have really small kids. So, but on the other side of things, I work full time from home. Obviously, you guys know what I do. I work full time, and I just choose curriculum very carefully. I will only buy stuff that is open and go. That means little work. I also outsource some classes. I use a math program that is video tutorials. I also sign, when my kids get older, I sign them up for some live virtual classes. Not independent study, self-paced stuff. It's actually live classes that I've chosen. So that's how a lot of us homeschool moms who work as well, that's how we pull it off. We source. We're very smart about how we source and how we set up the support in our lives. Yes. Question.
Yeah. Well, just over on Facebook, Alana says, hello from Iowa. We're starting kindergarten this year.
Oh, hi. Hi, I'm in Denver. Hello. We have someone in Iowa who is starting with your kindergartner next year. What do you guys know? Oh, I want to hear in the comments too. What curricula options have you guys been looking at? I want to know. What curriculum are you debating on, not sure about? We're going to nail everything down in my workshop on Saturday. If you're wondering, you're going to have each of your kids on a sheet, on a chart, and subjects and what curricula you're using, if any, for each of your... Oh, hi, Jules. Jules, you're too sweet. How are you, honey? I feel like we haven't talked in a while. Laura, okay, can we give extra double taps for any mom in New York or any of the other high regulation states? Brave mama homeschooling in New York. And I know it's easier than it looks on paper, but it still looks pretty intimidating on paper. Yes.
Susgriff and Kat Jones were coming, but first I want to follow up with Beatrice, who said her ages are 13 and 5, work in office outside home.
Okay, 13 and 5, you work in an office outside of the home. You're going to need some support to be able to do it. I don't know if I have moms that I know very well who are allowed to bring their kids with them on some days. That 5-year-old needs a lot of hands-on, because that 5-year-old needs to learn how to read, and you got to be sitting there with that child. So, but on the other side, when you are 5 and in kindergarten, homeschooling only takes about an hour. So if you have that, and you probably don't even need to do it every single day either. So it could be doable. I don't know. That's something to really evaluate. Talk with if you have a spouse or a partner, talk with your spouse or partner or other. Maybe you have family in the area that can help you pull it off. But I do know moms who work outside of the home who do homeschool. Yeah.
Let's follow up to Laura.
Okay, Laura, follow up.
I know she's only 4, so I have time before all that paperwork.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then Susgriff.
Still, my New Yorkers, you guys are brave.
Susgriff says, how do you home teach subjects between a 5-year age gap between kids? And Kat Jones says, what's your opinion for teaching 5th and 7th grade history together?
Okay. Yes. I'll start with the first one. You're going to have to remind me. I'll start with the second. absolutely teach your 5th grader and was it 5 years old and 7 years old or 5th grader?
5th and 7th grade.
Teach your 5th and 7th grader together. Do history as a family for sure. Absolutely 1,000%. And if I can just insert my little opinion, try not to do it with a textbook. Try to do it with some beautiful living books. And then the other question was?
How do you home teach the subjects between a 5-year age gap?
A 5-year age gap is pretty big. I have a large age gap between some of my kids. To be honest, there are some things that we just can't do together. The nice thing about an age gap, though, is usually the older child can be pretty darn independent with schoolwork. And that's kind of what I've done. So in my own family. Oh, good. I'm hearing all the curricula options that people are using. Good. We have some good in the beautifuls. What else? Let me see. What else do we have? We have, yes, a lot of good in the beautifuls. Okay, Acellus. I want to know what curricula options you're looking at for next year, and I want to know if you're debating between some or if you need any advice. Yes.
Rhea McMahon, I'm 10 plus years into homeschooling.
Rhea.
I even graduated one.
Woo!
I'm still frustrated by math curriculum. I've done dozens. Higher level math is frustrating. Yes,
higher level math is frustrating. Have you tried? Well, you've said you've tried dozens. You've probably tried everything that I'm about to suggest. Have you tried CTC? First off, I want to know your opinion on CTC. I really like it for the higher levels. And have you tried live online classes? Those are popping up all over the place now at all the homeschool academies that are online. I am seeing more and more live online math classes than I ever have before. Even on OutSchool, they're everywhere. Yeah. But stay in here because you can help me answer some of these questions because I can't get to all of them and you've been homeschooling over 10 years. Stay with me. I want you. You can help us in here.
Elisa says.
And do follow up on the math or email me after this live and then you and I can we can get deep
Elisa
about
says,
the math. Okay?
12 and 13-year-old. We used Acellus, but feeling meh.
Yes. Okay, so you guys, math programs are split into 2 different categories. They're either a mastery-based curriculum or a spiral-based curriculum. Our professional opinion, both me and Scott, we've been in education for over 20 years. Our preference is a mastery-based approach to math. So those are the only curricula that we would consider for our own family. There are a lot of reasons why I don't like spiral. Now, don't think that a mastery-based isn't reviewing. There's tons of reviewing and mixed reviews in mastery-based curricula options. Math is one of those subjects that I teach myself in my home until about 5th grade, and then I change and I outsource it. I don't really want to learn math again. I did fine in math growing up. I don't use a lot of math now with my job. And so it's just one of those subjects because I'm a working homeschool mom that I found CTC math. It's so beautifully outsourced. And so it's amazing. Amazing. And that's what I'm using for when they get older. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I said it, but it's Acellus, the traditional online school, like all-in-one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one that she's meh about.
Yeah. Acellus is a traditional online, if you guys are wondering what Acellus is,
Like
it's in the traditional style. It's like an all-in-one program in the traditional style.
Yeah. And that's what she's needing help with.
Yeah, and I actually don't have that as one of my, Acellus is not one of my go-tos when a mom really wants to homeschool in the traditional style. I usually recommend other ones. Are you eating dessert again?
Yes. Somebody asked, is Singapore math good for higher levels?
Well, Singapore math, like the traditional Singapore, doesn't go to the higher levels. So, what do they move to, babe? After 6th?
I mean, you can go to.
Yeah, they're adding on.
Open.
Yeah, they're adding on. Yeah, you can absolutely stay with it and get a wonderful math education.
But
the Singapore standards version stops. You have to switch to another. Yeah.
But yeah, they don't go past 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you recommend?
Because then you get, okay, so here's the deal is, but you do all that early math and then you get into pre-algebra, algebra, geometry, those things. And so, yeah. Okay.
Okay, we have a rock star here.
A rock star?
Catalina.
Okay,
Mom of
Catalina.
6.
Okay.
Just jumped into homeschooling for the first time ever this year. Ages 17, 14, 10, and 4.
Okay, 17, 14, 10, and 4. A mom of 6, so my guess is some of those are out of the home already, right? Or
babies.
Or babies. Okay, just leaped into homeschooling. Can we give this mama some hugs? Can you imagine just jumping in with all 4? She has 4 that she's homeschooling. Let's give her a big heart and a hug. How can I support you tonight? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you not sure what to choose? Let me go over what I offer for free in my link tree, because that's a great place a lot of people start. I have a free how to homeschool guide. It's right there behind me. That is 26 pages, and it's basically a how to start guide. I have a 5-minute homeschool style finder. I would highly suggest that you take that free quiz. It takes you just 5 minutes before you make any purchases. Please just do me that favor tonight. And you really need to know your homeschooling style before you make curriculum decisions. And then what else do I have free? Oh, I have my top curricula options by subject. That is a free give in my link tree. And then the last one is a reading list, just our favorite kind of binge reads. So make sure that you're utilizing everything that I offer for free. If you are currently, you're homeschooling next year, listen up right now. I am this Saturday live at 9 a.m. I am doing a 3-hour course. It's a co-working workshop on planning out our entire homeschool year. So if you know you're homeschooling, please consider joining me on Saturday. You can get info in the link tree. Okay.
Vandria asked, if not a Celis, what do you recommend?
Well, are you a traditional style? So in the traditional style, who do we have? We have Monarch, AOP, we have Abeka, we have Bob Jones. Those are all kind of faith-based. There's always K-12, Time for Learning. Easy Peasy is a free one in the traditional style. What else do we have? Calvert, that's a secular one. Connections Academy, Laurel Springs. There's quite a few. There's a lot of options for the traditional style. But take that quiz first, because my guess, most people don't, they start homeschooling in the traditional style because that's what you do, because that's what you know. But when you start asking questions about what parents value and the type of education and childhood they want for their kids, they often don't land in that traditional style of homeschooling. So I'd be very curious. Ooh, you should take the quiz right now and then come back to the live and tell me what you came up as. It only takes 5 minutes. Okay.
Grace,
were there people we needed to get back to?
Grace just came across classical composition for writing.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on Alpha and Omega Horizons?
Yeah, so Horizons, AOP, Alpha, Omega, and it's also Monarch. It's kind of like that's an all-encompassing company. That is homeschooling in the traditional style. What I will say is Monarch starts in my options that you're giving me. My favorite one is probably Monarch. People really like the organization of it, the record-keeping aspect. It keeps kids pretty engaged. So that would be my top, probably. In that style. Mm-hmm.
V. Perkins,
it is faith-based, though, you guys.
Do you have any recommendations for a second grade writing program?
A second grade writing program, I would just do, second grade is still pretty young. I would do Logic of English still. I don't move my kids to like formal composition until about 3rd grade. And then when I do that, you're going to look at something like IEW or Write Shop or Writing and Rhetoric. So, but in 2nd grade, at least for my kids, we were still, perfecting our letters. I didn't really, or are you asking about handwriting? Are you asking about composition or handwriting?
Not sure.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah, wait.
Let me know if you're talking about handwriting or composition. Yeah. And then if you're asking about cursive or manuscript. Okay, composition. Yeah, I usually start around 3rd grade for composition. You can start earlier. I just rely on the language arts program that I'm currently using for my 2nd grader and just call it a day. And then in 3rd grade is when I start an actual program. So, and then you can look at IEW, Write Shop, or something like Writing and Rhetoric.
Gabby asked.
So look those up. Oh, and then you guys with your curriculum questions, go ahead and get the curriculum recommendations that is in my link tree. It's free and it goes by subject. And they're not only ones that I use or have used in the past, they're also kind of the gold standard for the homeschool world. Well-respected options. So for example, if you look in the history on there, you guys know I do not use textbooks to teach my kids history, but I do have 2 textbooks under the history section that are very well respected, will do a great job if you want to go in that direction. So those options are not like what I personally use. My personal ones are on there, but I wanted to put options on there that kind of fit into all the different homeschooling styles. So grab that freebie. It's great. Several pages.
Natalia says, will this live be saved? I can't watch right now, but I really want to watch the rest.
Oh, Natalia, yeah. So I think they get reposted on YouTube, don't they, babe? Yeah. It'll be on YouTube if you go to my YouTube page.
Gabby, do you recommend curriculum for children under the age of 7 years? Or more play and create?
So let me tell you what I'm careful to say, do I recommend? This is what I'm going to tell you I did. When I started homeschooling my oldest, I wanted something structured that I could do. And I did buy a preschool curriculum when he was 3. And I used that curriculum for a couple of years until we started kindergarten. So, do I think preschoolers need a curriculum? Now, let me be very clear on what I mean by curriculum. I'm not meaning that I had my 3-year-old doing seat work at all. I bought like a guide for activities and going outside and playing and exploring. I just wanted the ideas delivered to me and that projects handed to me, basically. So in those early years, like preschool, if you are the type of mom that loves getting lost in Pinterest and coming up with all these ideas and shopping online and at Michael's, then no, you don't need curriculum. But if you're a mom like me where that's kind of overwhelming, I don't like spending my time doing that, then I would recommend a play-based preschool curriculum. Please do not put your kids in an academic preschool curriculum where they're forced to sit down for hours on end. If you're curious about how long you should be homeschooling in a day, in my free guide, I think it's on page 20, I have a chart on how many hours per day to homeschool by age. You guys, preschool is like under an hour, and it's not even all at once. And they're just learning and exploring the world. And there have been tons of studies on how to do early education, and it is not through stringent academic programs. In fact, they've done studies. People think, oh, I'm going to get my kid ahead because I'm going to start this early. It does not get the children ahead because they're not cognitively ready. Children are cognitively ready. We can't speed that up. So kids literally can't learn things that they're not ready to learn. It's kind of like your child wasn't ready to walk until they were ready to walk. Your child wasn't ready to talk until they were ready to talk. All learning is that way. So it really does backfire. It burns parents out and it burns kids out when you go and you start out super academic. I have like a hair kind of going into my eye. So, and the question was until 7. Yeah. And then when you start at kindergarten, so again, it's an hour. It's very, very light. Tons and tons of exploration and play. But please do start at 5. Even if your child is not ready to read, please do early literacy stuff. I believe that is very important. I am not not one of these educators that just tells you, wait, like it doesn't matter. There have been studies that it does help their literacy when you do start around 5, and early literacy skills even in preschool, but fun, in a fun way, and always phonics based. Okay.
Elizabeth says, this is great information. Thank you. We're starting homeschooling this year for my kindergartner and second grader.
Okay, kindergartner and second grader. Awesome! That reminds me, for you guys that are about to start homeschooling next year, please listen up. Right now, I have a $1 trial. You can try my Thrive homeschool community for only $1. It's a 3-day flash sale. So if you have been on the fence, if you feel like you need support, if you feel like you haven't found your people, if you feel like people around you aren't really supportive, or you don't know what to say, or you're worried about buying the wrong thing, all those worries, this is why I started this particular community. It is my heart. It is my true love. I have lots of ladies in here who are in Thrive. You can test drive Thrive right now for $1. So please go to my link tree. It may not be for you, and that's fine. This group is designed for women who have a growth mindset and are on and really want to be the best homeschoolers that they can be. So, and you love learning and growing, and you love community, and you love supporting others, and you also will receive support when you need it on a hard day. That's the type of mama that this community is for. Tomorrow, I have office hours for elementary, moms of elementary. I love the hearts I'm getting. And then on Thursday, I have office hours for moms of littles. So that's preschool to second grade. Then I have office hours for moms of teens. That's at 1 p.m. Mountain tomorrow. And then, of course, I always have nighttime Zooms. And that's in office hours for mamas of kids of all ages. And you submit your questions ahead. You come to office hours. We get face-to-face time. So you can join right now and be on a Zoom with me tomorrow if you want. It's only $1 to try it. And then you get kicked out. You either stay or you get kicked out in 6 days. Now, this is the kicker. And we had debated, I'm just going to say this, take a minute. We had debated canceling the $1 trial. This was scheduled a while back because my book manuscript was due mid-June. I turned it in. Yay! Yay! Those ladies in Thrive know the drama with the book manuscript. And then I am traveling the second week of July. So we did not really want the biggest workshop of the year to land on a window of the $1 trial, but we actually had no choice. We debated canceling the $1 trial because we weren't going to cancel the workshop. So this Saturday is an opportunity for you to take advantage of me because we're still doing the workshop, which is it's going to retail for $50. It's the biggest workshop of the year. And it is where I'm teaching you my method on how to plan out your entire homeschool year from A to Z, your entire year, what curriculum you're going to buy for each of your kids, how to schedule in margin, how to make sure your schedule is flexible. All the tips and tricks of the trade are going to be on Saturday, and we're going to do it together. I'm planning my year with you guys. It's a co-working session, lots of worksheets where we're going to be working through stuff. So,
people are asking, how do I join? How do I get your help?
Okay, the way that you join, what I'm talking about, how do you join that workshop on Saturday is you go to my link tree and you join Thrive for the $1 trial. So that is how you can do that live workshop with me. Now, technically, so here's the thing. I'm just going to live with it. Technically, you could join for the $1. You could come to all my office hours this week. You could come to that 3-hour workshop and you could leave Thrive and get like a lot of money's worth for only $1. But most people who join stay. So that's been the history. That's why I feel comfortable doing this, because I know you're going to love the workshop so much you'll end up staying. But you technically could take advantage of me if you wanted to. But
Nina.
Right? I mean, what are you gonna do? So normally the workshop's gonna be in June. It's not gonna be in July. That's why it landed that way. Am I just talking to myself at this point? Sorry. Okay, you can ask me questions about the workshop on Saturday, the live workshop, and you can ask me questions about Thrive Homeschool Community. Go ahead, and let me get to the other, I want to get to homeschooling questions.
How do mamas with anxiety homeschool? Oh, and will it be recorded?
The workshop will be recorded, yes. All my workshops are available on replay. It will be on replay several days after the live. And then when you're in Thrive, you have access to all workshops I've ever taught. You can literally click and play them when you're in Thrive. So often when a mom joins and she's asking me about homeschooling, I tell her, okay, this week, can you go watch this workshop? It's usually the Finding Your Why. I say, go do that workshop and come back to me. And then she goes and watches it and comes back to me, and then we can continue our conversation about making a plan for homeschooling.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's in your cup? Look at what's in mine.
Somebody said, oh, just signed up for the trial, thank you. And asked recommendation for SAT prep.
Yes. Okay, first, what's your name so I recognize you when I DM you tomorrow?
Yeah.
I want to know.
It's like anonymous user kind of.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, welcome. I can't wait to DM you tomorrow. And then the same person is asking about, I really like College Prep Genius. Not sponsored at all. I like College Prep Genius. That's what we are using and I taught SAT and ACT prep for years and years and years. And I really liked the way Jean put her program together. And we start test prep for college exams. We actually started in junior high. So that's going to be part of our curriculum plan that I'm going to be planning with you guys on Saturday.
Yep.
When we're going to be having a chart for each of the kids, mapping out what curriculum we're using, what subjects we're teaching, and then we're going to look at it, and then we're going to say, okay, is this realistic? What do we need to adjust? Because that's kind of the big deal, right? We want to do everything. Everything seems amazing. That's at least where I get stuck. I want to do composer study and classical music and poetry and Shakespeare and SAT prep and this and that and the other. It's like, it's not possible. I don't want to homeschool. I also want everything done by 1 p.m. So I'm walking you through my process for how I build the homeschool of my dreams while it's also realistic, one that I can actually achieve. So that is so important, that meeting place between your dreams and reality and figuring out where that sweet spot is. Because my heart for you guys is to not homeschool with anxiety, to not homeschool where you're always feeling behind. That's how I was when I first started. I always felt like I wasn't meeting my own expectations.
Okay.
Okay.
Shanna asked such a great question.
Shanna.
How do you draw the line of you have to do school and let them lead?
How do I draw the line? That is so tough. It depends on where your kid is emotionally, the reasons behind that. And the exact question is drawing the line between you just have to do it and what?
Let them lead.
And let them lead. So I'm smiling because I'm smiling remembering the moments where I have failed at this miserably, where I have given my kids too much freedom that they weren't ready for. But even that, if I choose to, I can look at that in itself as a growth experience where we've been in positions where I let too much freedom and then we had to like redo half a year of math. This stuff happens in homeschooling. So I think it depends on the kid, what they're ready for. It definitely needs to be done in increments. It's not something that you just let loose of the reins and now you're in charge of everything. That doesn't work. If they're cognitively ready, if they're mature enough, I would definitely have a conversation with your student beforehand saying, hey, I think it's important that you take more responsibility this coming year. What's an area that you think you can really tackle on your own? And you can even do some scaffolding with that. So you can say, all right, well, this is what it means to be an independent learner. And then you can make a list. It requires you scheduling out your time, being diligent with executing your work, and you can kind of lay out expectations that you would want met for your student to earn the ability to have the freedom in that particular subject area. So, and this is something I've learned the hard way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam says, pulled my kids out of public school last year. Definitely nervous about homeschooling. And then Elisa says, so if we used a Celis and want to change, where would we start? And Sam says, I'm signing up for that program. What don't you like?
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
yeah.
So you guys, before you buy, just everybody stop. Everybody stop. Before you jump the gun and buy any curriculum, will you please take my 5-minute homeschool style finder? It's free. So you can figure out which of the 9 pedagogies most aligns with you. A Celis is in the traditional style. A Celis is basically public school at home. Is that what you want? It might not be. So please take that free homeschool style finder, see what resonates with you, and then come back to the live, and then we can talk further. But it's so important that you educate yourself before making expensive buying decisions.
Okay. And so somebody says, where do you find that 5-minute homeschool stuff?
It's in my bio. The link is in my bio. It's free. It takes you 5 minutes.
And then Elisa follows up and said, it says Waldorf, Unit Studies, Montessori.
And then Waldorf,
Unit Studies, Montessori.
and Montessori. That's beautiful. You're going to have so much fun.
And it's a far cry from tradition.
And it's not traditional. You will never be happy in anything traditional. Bob Jones, a Becca, a Celis, any of those, you will not like them. They will never be a fit.
What's your opinion on Good and the Beautiful, 3rd and 4th grade?
The Good and the Beautiful it's where a lot of parents start their homeschooling. And it is a Charlotte Mason program. So that's important to know. It is also a faith-based. It has a Christian worldview. That's also important to know. And people really love it. People love it very much. So I want to go over... when you come out as a unit, I want to talk about coming out as a unit study homeschooler. If you come out as a unit study homeschooler, what people generally do is they have their kids do the basics like math, reading, writing, literature, and then they do unit studies on top of those basic subjects. So you do your core subjects, because what a unit study is, is a unit study is taking a theme like space, and then you're reading a piece of literature about space. You're doing experiments, so that covers science about space. Maybe you're reading a biography of the history of the Apollo 13 or whatever. You're watching a movie. Unit studies are where you take a theme and then you incorporate the different disciplines, so subjects in school, disciplines, into that theme. And what's fun about them, I love doing unit studies, is they're interesting and they're a delight, and you see how everything is woven together, and they're awesome. I don't know any unit study homeschool mom, though, who calls herself unit study that doesn't separately do like a math and a solid language arts program, and then the unit studies on top of that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Alexa Torres over on YouTube, new to homeschooling, how do you find the time to do everything? School, make meals? I feel like I can't handle everything. 3 kids homeschooling and a baby that's 14 months.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I want you to take my workshop on Saturday, because with what you have on your plate, you have to get bang for your buck. So I don't know what curriculum you're using right now. And I'm going to not necessarily give advice to you because you might already be doing this, but if you have multiple children, you should be doing as many subjects as possible all together as a family. I'm talking history all together as a family, literature all together as a family. science all together as a family. And there's some curricula that you can buy where just following that curricula covers 3 of those subjects. A mom today I was recommending in Thrive, I was recommending to her to look at a particular program that incorporated several disciplines into the one curriculum. So that's how you manage it. And then also realistic expectations. I would love to see you at my live workshop on Saturday, because I think you would feel so much better. If you are in a state of overwhelm, feeling behind, how do I manage all this? Too many moving pieces. I encourage you to take that workshop. Because I'm going to help you through it.
And the dollar trial ends Thursdays.
Okay, yeah. It ends Thursday night? What, at midnight?
Yeah.
Okay. The dollar trial for Thrive ends at Thursday night at midnight. So after Thursday night, you cannot sign up for the course. You can't attend the course. It's for Thrive members.
For $1,
Yeah, but you can do it for $1. You can test drive my membership for $1.
Debbie Ames, been homeschooling 17 years. My older kids are out of the house now. Younger kids are 11 and 9. Feeling burnt out, but love homeschooling. We're involved in a lot outside of school. We've done Abeka for 17 years, but feeling like we need to change.
Oh my goodness.
Don't know where to start, because that's what we've always done. Where do I start?
Oh my goodness.
Feeling like a new homeschooler mom now.
I want to see you in office hours on Thursday so we can talk about this in person. Can you do it? It's at 1 p.m. Mountain. I totally know where you are, and I get it. So I do all my office hours with another mentor, and I have a teen mentor in Thrive. You can try, and you can sign up for Thrive for $1. You could meet me on Thursday for $1. That's not hard to do. So I would love to explore this further. I'm excited that all you've done is Abeka, because, what we can design for you can be so amazing. It can be awesome. Yeah.
Okay, somebody asked about Montessori Charlotte Mason mix for 3rd grade, having a hard time finding anything.
Montessori Charlotte Mason mix. So what I would do is I would buy a Charlotte Mason curricula and then implement it in a Montessori way. That's how I would do it.
Somebody says, I think relating to teaching your multiple kids together.
Yeah.
What about 1st grade and 10th grade?
1st grade and 10th grade? No, not really. I mean, there's certain things. If you want family memories and you want to do stuff together, so maybe that means, you want to do stuff together. But in terms of academics, that's too far of a gap.
Okay.
I mean, other than even the read alouds. So like, for example, when I get to high school, my read alouds are for history or serious. Like they're not appropriate for my little girls. I mean, like, I read heavy stuff, like wartime heavy stuff. So, because often I will say, just have your little one color or do Legos while you're doing the history read aloud. But I wouldn't do that for a high school history read aloud, where your high schooler really needs to understand the evil in the world to truly grasp how important it is to learn history. So, yeah, bummer.
Yep. Okay, forever but never. You got a good question here, but we're gonna go first. There's been a couple people, LA Vibes, and on TikTok, and then also Chris Marie over on Facebook. What about master books? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually don't know many people who use master books. I know people who have left master books. So it's not, I don't think master books is on my list. Is it? Who has my download? I don't recall putting it on there. And I have a lot of curricula on there. So I've never used master books. I don't have many friends who use it. I know several people who have left it. But I wish I could speak more about master books. You know, there's thousands of options out there. I don't know every single one. I know a lot. I know a lot of them, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, somebody was asked or said, Miss Reyna, I believe, she got unschooling Waldorf Montessori. We do mainly unschool, and we do lots of Montessori. Not sure about Waldorf. Thank you so much for the quiz. I loved it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. And that's a wonderful mix. That's fantastic. Yeah, and you know what? You can mesh all those together. Take what you love from those. And the descriptions are pretty good in there. Yay!
Forever but never. He's okay.
Okay, forever but never. We're on you.
Has a son who starts school in August.
Okay.
I don't want to enroll him. I want to homeschool him.
You do it. I can help you. Let's give hugs. Is this a mom or a dad?
Mama.
You can do it. If your heart is speaking to you, we can support you. We can help you make that transition, and you can curate a year that is absolutely phenomenal. You can do it. I promise.
I think Stacy said earlier, the group is for dads too.
Yes. We do have dads in the group. Not many, but we do.
Yeah.
Now I'm underwater.
I have a 15-year-old daughter that I'm homeschooling, but she's driving me a little crazy right now.
Yeah.
And losing my patience.
Okay, 15-year-old daughter driving you crazy right now, losing your patience. So I have more questions than answers. I would love to see you in office hours on Thursday for teen office hours, because we can go through, quite frankly, a lot of what we talk about in the teen office hours is parenting, quite frankly. So it'd be lovely to see you in there where we could get to the bottom of maybe what's going on and seeing what she needs. I think at that age, though, if I was to give a general comment, not knowing you and not knowing your daughter, I think that at this age, they need to feel seen, heard. They need to be given responsibility in areas that they can. And lots of conversations, almost talking too much, communicating everything and the why behind all of the things, because they're not little kids anymore. But there could be so much going on. You're not alone, though. We all go through this during the tween and teen years. And it really, at least for me, I've had to completely change how I parent. So it's been hard. It's been humbling and challenging, but already it's been worth it. I feel like I've grown. I feel like my relationship has grown too.
Kimberly Baker on TikTok, we're going to get to you soon.
Okay, Kimberly Baker, we'll get to you.
Hang tight. Healing Hemet says, where are the workshops? I have 2 in private schools, 2nd and 4th graders.
My workshops are on my website. So you can look at all of them there. If you are a member of Thrive, you have access to all the workshops. It's just part of your membership. But if you want to look at my shop and just purchase one workshop, you can absolutely do that.
And the big planning workshop is when?
Yes, Scott's like, when's the big planning workshop where we are going to come together live. I'm going to teach you my method for a fail-safe homeschool setup. That's what the title of the workshop is, the fail-safe homeschool setup. I'm going to teach you my method on how to build and organize a realistic, but yet still the homeschool of your dreams. I'm doing that live with you guys on Saturday. If you are interested, you should join Thrive. I have a $1 trial happening right now, so you can test drive Thrive and then take that workshop with me, and it will be live. So if you can't make the workshop, it is available on replay. I put it up several days later.
Healing Hermit follows up with, I really want to homeschool, but I'm afraid I can't keep up with the private school education.
We need to talk. Oh my goodness, I want to talk to you so bad. We could also do, you guys, I do consultations. I have one tomorrow. If you want a lot of FaceTime where we're talking about details about your situation, we can always do consultations as well.
Okay, so Money Melly.
Money.
Hi, I legit love you. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 9-month-old. No clue when or where to start.
Don't start till 3. And if you can, hold them back. Yeah. You don't need to do anything, but just go outside, read to them, play, answer questions, and start reading. Start reading up on homeschooling.
She says I'm alone.
And you're so sweet to me. That's sweet. I feel encouraged.
And she's a loan officer. I think she has a flexible job, avoided daycares.
Perfect.
And trying to teach her kids, but it's just super overwhelming.
Oh my goodness. When you're ready, I say don't join Thrive until your oldest is 3 when you're doing preschool. And we have a whole office hours every month just for moms of preschoolers, because it is important to homeschool during preschool, and how you do it is also important, because you can easily go and get super academic, which is not a healthy thing for either you or your child. So, and I also like to set up my preschool mamas on a great and correct pathway to literacy as well. So tons of preschool mamas in my Thrive community. So when your kid gets to be 3, I'd love to see you there, and we'll help you every step of the way. We'll make sure that you don't mess this up. I promise you won't. And I hope you guys know this, that it's not like, I know we're all in this time where we have to buy a curriculum, right? We have to look at what our options are. But this is what I want you to know deep in your heart, that it's not about it's not a certain curriculum or this or that or getting it just right. That's not what works. Homeschooling works. And the reason why homeschooling works is because of you and who you are and how you're setting up your kids' learning and setting them up for a successful life by looking at the school system and saying, I don't want to educate my kid that way. It's an ineffective way to educate a child, really. You do not need 7 hours in a day. They're half the stuff they're learning, they're forgetting. They forget everything over the summer. I mean, it's like, when you actually think about what the system is doing, like, come on, people. Why wouldn't homeschooling work? And then with homeschooling, oh my goodness, socialization, there's so many, don't even get me started. Most of us homeschooling moms are exhausted from all the socialization we're doing with our kids. So be encouraged. Step into those shoes, you guys. You absolutely, not only can you do this, you can do it better. You can do it better. Even if your child is in the most hoity-toity private school, which we taught those kids. We taught the kids of the rich and famous who were in the most elite private schools in the country. The homeschool I do in my home is leaps and bounds better, higher quality than any of the amazing private schools that I worked with kids at. So please know that you can, it's not that difficult to do it exponentially better than what the system is doing. And by system, I mean both public and private. They're both the system.
Let's give a shout out and some hearts to Cinder Nina.
Cinder Nina, she needs some hugs.
What does she say?
Give her some hearts.
My mind, but I'm doing it.
Okay. Maybe what I said was just for you, and you're scared out of your mind. Hey, you guys, those mamas in here who are scared, please, I'm personally inviting you to try out Thrive. It's $1 trial right now. Go to my link tree. I'd love to meet you. You do not have to be frightened. You don't have to do this with anxiety. There's people in Thrive who will help you, including myself, every step of the way. We will answer every homeschooling question you have. I have a team of mentors in there on the ready who are in the threads every single day, answering your questions with their wisdom of years and years and decades of homeschooling. So we are right around the corner for you.
Spa Life Mother, want to start. I have a 6 years, a 4 years, and a 9-month-old baby. Husband thinks because I don't have a degree in education, I'm not fit for teaching our kids.
Okay, he's wrong. I'm sure he's a nice guy, though. But he's wrong. Is he here? Can you bring him over? Have him ask me a question, Any question, like what is his biggest concern? So here, let me give you a statistic that will encourage you. I should wait to give you the statistic till he comes. Should I wait? Or no? Should I just say it?
Well.
Okay.
Let's see if we get it.
Okay. I'm just going to say the statistic. Here's what you guys need to know about homeschooling. Homeschoolers score 15 to 30% percentiles above kids who are conventionally schooled. This is kids who are in both public and private school. And if you know what those stay nines mean, 15 to 30% higher is big. But here's the best part of that statistic. The level of education of the parent and whether or not they had a degree in education had nothing to do with those results. So what that means is that, and I've heard stories all the time. I even hear of moms who only have their GED, who got their kids into Ivy League schools, homeschooling. Your degree or your level of education means absolutely nothing to homeschool statistics and how successful your child will be. The other cool thing about that statistic is it does not take into account your homeschooling style. So this means it's unschoolers, it's Charlotte Mason, it's classical schoolers, it's all the types of schoolers. What is the bottom line? Here's the bottom line. Homeschoolers score better, period. It does not matter your level of education. It does not matter what curriculum you're using. It does not matter if you find the perfect program. None of that matters. So be encouraged by that. And here's the thing that often people who are new to homeschooling don't realize, and this is that it's so exponentially about sourcing. Like what I mean by that is I am particularly weak in math. I just don't really want to teach math past 5th grade in my own house. I find an amazing source to teach math. But not only do I find the amazing source, it's the curriculum that I want. If it's a live class, it's the teacher that I want. And I am completely in the driver's seat. I can pull, if I don't like what's going on, I can pull my kid out of that class at any time. We don't have that freedom in either public or private schools to choose the best way for our kids to learn based on what they need. So truly, truly the most efficient, effective, loving, customized, I could go on with so many more words, way to educate a child is through homeschooling. And homeschoolers score very high, much higher than conventionally schooled kids, socially, emotionally, and psychologically as well. So keep in mind, when you ask yourself, oh, will my kid be socialized? You need to really ask yourself, what do I think socialized means? Because I would argue, and I do in my book, that the socialization that is happening in our public schools is more conformity than socialization, and it's more about trying to fit in. And it's not really even how clinical psychologists define what healthy socialization is. Healthy socialization is being resilient, being able to talk with people who are younger than you or older than you, not just people in your own age group. Bouncing back from being able to navigate conflict really well, have really meaningful discussions. So think to yourself, okay, when I picture public school and socialization, is that really what I want? Ask yourself that. Is that really what I want? So, and then when my book comes out, I'll just be able to say, read well, right now it's chapter 9. It's chapter 9 right now. But my chapters might change. But I'll tell you, buy my book and read chapter 9. But right now I just have the live to tell you. So, yeah. All right, couple more questions. Don't forget, I have a live workshop where I'm teaching you my fail-safe method for planning out your entire school year for all of your kids. It's going to be amazing, and we're doing it live on Saturday. If you want information about that, go to my link tree. Right now, we have a $1 trial in Thrive. You and I can be on a Zoom together tomorrow for office hours where we're talking to each other, not one-on-one, it's a small group. And you can try my community for just $1. And you can try it for 6 days, check everything out, see if it's a fit for you. I encourage you to do that. Let's ask a couple more questions. Let's answer.
How do I pick the right science for high school biology?
Yeah. How do you pick the right science? I would ask your kid how they want to learn their high school biology. Do they want to learn it in a self-paced class? Do they want to learn it in a live class? They probably don't want to just do the book work alone. That's what I would ask, how they want to learn it.
And Kendra's been so sweet answering questions.
Oh, Kendra! Oh my goodness. Thank you, Kendra. Appreciate it. I know they're flying in, I think, huh?
Catalina says, does the curriculum matter when it comes to our children becoming part of these statistics?
It does not. The curriculum does not matter whatsoever. That statistic did not take into account what curriculum was being used or what style of homeschooler you are. So you guys, here's the one people don't like to hear. That includes unschoolers. Yes.
Just Mark.
Okay.
It's taken me years. Oh, are you paused?
Am I paused? Oh, low battery. Okay, it says, I did pause. It said low battery.
Okay.
I think I can answer.
Okay. It's taken me years personally to forgive my folks for homeschooling me. I never made friendships.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Who is this?
Mark.
Yeah, Mark. I'm so glad you're on here. And here's the thing, you guys. I'm really glad that you came on to say that, Mark, because not everyone can homeschool. We know this. Not everyone can do it. Like logistically, they can't. We have single moms who need to work and all sorts of things. That's not the only situation on why you can't do it. But also, not everyone should. You really should only be homeschooling if you are committed to giving your child everything they need in every aspect. That's academic health, social health, emotional health. So, and what I will say is, if you're on this live tonight, if you were interested enough to stay on this live, you are in that category, most likely, because you hear these nightmare stories. Those aren't parents who are actually, you hear, these novels that come out and these nightmare stories. Those aren't parents who were actually interested in being the best homeschool parents they could be, right? So, Mark, I am deeply, profoundly sorry for what happened to you growing up. And everyone, I hope that you heard him tonight and that you do realize that homeschooling is a very serious responsibility. We need to take care of our kids and we need to pursue their health in all of the different areas.
Yep.
Academic, social, emotional, yeah.
Okay. What time are your Zoom calls tomorrow?
Okay, so my Zoom call so here's my Zoom schedule this week for office hours. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain, that is elementary office hours. Then Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain is littles. We call it littles. It's preschool to second grade office hours. Then at 1 p.m., it's teen office hours. And then at 7 p.m., it is all ages office hours. So in the next 2 days, I have 4 Zooms. And we're doing a $1 trial. So you can join Thrive and attend those Zooms for $1. And you can check out everything else we do in Thrive because we do so much in there. So I encourage you to go ahead and give it a try. We can meet face-to-face tomorrow. Also, do not forget that this Saturday, live, we are doing our planning workshop, the fail-safe homeschool setup. We are going to be setting up your entire homeschool year all in under 3 hours. And it's going to be awesome. I'm going to teach you my method that will work. It actually works. So many plans we make, we have to throw out in about 3 weeks because they are just unrealistic, and that is not what we do. Yes, okay.
Natalie Lieber says, my boys are 8 and 5. We've been homeschooling their whole lives. My husband is good with screens, and I think no screens. So we can do more hands-on play and books. Any suggestions?
Like for suggestions for the balance of it? Or do you want suggestions for hands-on curricula options? We can wait for her answer.
it might just be more philosophical. What time is the Saturday workshop?
The Saturday workshop is at 9 a.m. Mountain. So that's going to be 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. East. And it will be 3 hours or less. It will not go more than 3 hours.
What if I can't make it?
If you can't make it and you are in Thrive, all of my workshops are on replay. If you are in Thrive.
Natalie was looking for balance, she said.
Oh, okay. So a balance. You know what? This is what I would do is, and I don't know you, so it feels weird like giving advice, but you did ask. I would actually talk with your husband. Okay, here's what I know, because I know it's true for me, is that the amount of screen time I think my kids have is probably a lot more. No, less than what they actually have, meaning they're watching a lot more screen than I think. I would be very curious to hear from your husband how much screen time per day or per week he's comfortable with. And then really look at your schedule and determine how much your kids are actually getting. Because my guess is that you guys can come together and you might be in more agreement than not, because I don't know any parent who wants their kid watching TV all day, every day, right? We all want them to be doing other things as well. So what I have done in my house is I choose a time of day where I get a little bit frazzled. I feel a little overwhelmed and busy. It's about 5 p.m. when I'm trying to cook dinner and wrap up my work day and get everybody fed, or maybe I have a live, so I want to get on there pretty much on time. So I choose, my kids have to wait until 5 p.m. for screen time. It's very rare if they get screen time outside of that. They just know the family expectation is, I don't get screens until 5. And what do you know? They figure out what to do. But, there's methods for doing screen detox. Oh my goodness, we could have like a whole workshop. That's a good idea for a workshop in Thrive. Screens. What to do, how to do it, how to detox, what's healthy, what's not. Would that be a good workshop, you guys? I think it would be.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to find an expert to come and teach, because we have experts come and teach the workshops in Thrive. Right, Brittany? Do you guys know of a screen time expert that I could ask to come? Right? Don't you think that would be a good, I would love to know that stuff. See, I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable teaching it because I'm not an expert on like what screens do to the brain and stuff like that. I would rather bring someone in who already does talks on this. So we bring in amazing experts into Thrive.
Yep.
So I want to write that down.
Chris Marie over on Facebook says, how do you incorporate an SEL curriculum, social emotional, in homeschooling, such as Slumberkins or the Little Spot series?
Yes. So the way I do it is I make it an elective, and I do it during my morning time. So we're doing it family together. That's how I do it. Yep. And I think that's wonderful that you want to do that. And it's absolutely a valid school subject. Yeah, SEL is social emotional learning, and there's pretty great options out there nowadays to go through that with your kids. And I think that, quite frankly, if I may be bold, don't you think that is just as important as learning math? I do. Seriously, maybe more important, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miss Reyna said, I took the quiz and my husband did too, and we didn't come out the same. I came out unschool Waldorf Montessori. He came out Waldorf Montessori Classical. What do we do?
Oh, you guys are pretty close. Read the descriptions and then highlight the commonalities. I think you guys will have plenty of overlap. What you might not like is you might not like some of the aspects of classical, like you might not be interested in your kid learning Latin, for example, but Usually that's not a deal breaker. You know, the parents just decide. I actually know quite a few classical homeschoolers who what's past tense for, is it forego, forwent,
Skip.
skipped? What is it now? I'm going to be up at night. They forwent,
I don't know what that
someone Google. I know classical homeschoolers who don't even do Latin. They just went with Spanish or French. Yeah.
Forwent.
Is it forwent?
Yeah.
Who's my hero right now?
Well, me.
Oh, someone says forsook.
Oh.
It might be forsook.
That's a good one.
No, I really want to know what it is.
It's forwent.
It is forwent?
According to Grammarly.
Forwent. Okay. Forsake, forsook. Wait, forsook is past tense for forsake, which is different. Right?
I think so.
Yes, we can educate our children, no problem.
Emily Ricks Violin says, Reset Your Child's Brain by Victoria Dunkley would be a great expert about screen time.
Oh, wait, who is it?
I'll text you.
Okay.
It's Victoria Dunkley.
Victoria. Wait, do I need to write this down
I got it.
Thanks, babe. He's
All
a
right.
good man. Thank you for that. I am on it. I want the screen time expert. Okay, my battery is low.
We should wrap.
You guys, and I hear alarms beeping. Do not forget, it is the dollar trial for Thrive. If you've been on the fence about joining my community, now is the time to do it. These dollar trials do not come around very often. It's a 3-day flash sale. It closes midnight Thursday. And I'm so excited about the live planning seminar happening on Saturday. We're going to plan out your whole entire year, and I can't wait to see you there. And if you do the dollar trial tonight, we can see each other in office hours tomorrow and Thursday. I have 4 Zooms tomorrow and Thursday. So love you guys. Check out that link tree. I cannot wait to meet you and DM you once you join. I DM you within 48 hours. I try to, and we'll see you then. Okay? All right. Have a great night, my lovelies. Okay, bye-bye.